Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. We got Caleb with his hands in the air. We got Ryan wearing a blue suit. We got Aaron. He's looking real cute. That's right. A to the P, D, and C. That's him. That's him. And me.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the Autopod Decepticast, your bi-weekly podcast that delivers an episode-by-episode breakdown of the Beast Wars series. Today, we're covering The Web. Beast Wars Episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this is our episode number 220.
Yep.
And I am your host, Aaron, and with me are the Indigo and Fezzik to my Tread Pirate Roberts.
I'm Ryan.
I'll be Indigo.
Yes.
Anybody want a peanut?
It's true. That story is based on our lives. I was trying to save the love of my life from an evil prince. Ryan and Caleb were thugs for hire, but I bested them both at each of their unique skills. And after I was killed, they teamed up to save me and bring me back to life. And then we saved the princess, and here we are.
And thus concludes the best movie, one of my favorite movies of all time.
I haven't seen it in a while, but
It's so good.
I mean, I don't think anybody doubts its greatness.
If anybody does, they're just wrong.
I'll fucking kill him.
Oh.
Okay, I don't know.
Put him in the
about that.
fucking grave.
Oh my god.
They're only mostly dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Not to 50.
They need some of the Miracle Max sauce on the
Put
thing.
some chocolate on it.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're back to Beast Wars. Thank you for joeing with us last week. It was a good time.
It was
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, whatever.
Whenever.
Yeah.
Time goes by weird when you're in the Joe perverse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shipwreck.
Baroness.
Baroness.
Is that the last episode recap?
Nothing
These are
gas.
people that are in G.I. Joe. You know, I don't really have much for banter. What's going on with you guys?
Man. I'm gearing up to play in the High School Musical, which has already happened by the time this comes out. But
What is the play about?
it's called The Old Man and the Old Moon, and it is it was put together by a Pigpen Theater Company, and basically they perform like folk music and sing and act in it. For this one, the students aren't really going to be performing instruments, accordions and banjos and pianos and stuff. So I'm going to be doing that part on the side.
And they're faking it with fake instruments?
No, they thought about that. They decided not to even try to do that. They're just going to be singing, and I've on the side playing like piano patches and accordion patches. I have a real accordion I'm going to do on a couple of songs. We've got a couple of banjo players, a couple of guitarists.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
It'll be a folksy good time.
Folks, a good time. Nix's High School actually has a big performance arts center, including a black box theater. Josh Powell, I'm sure you've done black box theater before.
Hello, Josh.
Yeah. So black box, and it's going to be the first time that they've had a performance in that. This will be the inaugural performance in that black box theater. So pretty excited. Put a lot of work into it.
Caleb is so engaged in the community.
So
What do you do for the community?
Ryan, this.
Well, I feel like I'm pretty restrained at not committing crimes.
Yeah, he does that.
He doesn't do that.
He's
Non-action is
he,
action.
He is good. He performs being restrained at not committing crimes.
Right.
So he does that. That's it. That's
That's
what
it?
I. That's
What's
what I've.
going on?
That's all
Yeah.
I've been doing. That's all I've been getting ready for.
Ryan?
I'm getting some seeds together for this.
It's time to sow.
It is.
When do you start? When are you going to start putting your seeds in cups?
I'm actually probably going to start the tomatoes early this year because I tend to. It's hit and miss with starting tomatoes from seed for me. Like about half of them sometimes don't go so well. So I'm going to try like maybe mid-February, which I think is when this comes out.
Yeah.
Starting some, and then the beets actually, like beets and turnips, will go out in the garden probably around the beginning of March.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I've got tomatoes I've got to start growing from seed this year. I got a couple of exotic ones, and I guess I'll start that here in about 3 weeks. But then, when I put radishes in the ground in March, they're already ready to eat, like, by the end of March. They grow so fast.
Yeah, this is going to be a great bonus episode.
We just...
What?
What?
You just don't like gardening.
Yeah. You asked us what's up.
Right. I didn't know it would be radishes.
What about you, Aaron? What do you got going on that we
Nothing.
can shit on?
No. I'm not exposing myself
What are your
to
hobbies
you animals.
that we can hate?
Fucking asshole.
Hey, are you guys excited about, we got TFCon coming up soon.
About a
By the time
month
somebody
from
listens to this.
when this comes out. Actually, not even a month from when this episode comes out. We'll be there.
TFCon.
Yeah.
Excited about that.
How are you guys preparing? I'll tell you how I'm preparing. I've been doing more push-ups.
We're doing cock push-ups.
I've been working out a little bit.
I've been getting
more.
my fentanyl testers.
Oh yeah, get them. We are doing coke. Hey,
I'm
join
not.
us, everybody. Do coke in
No.
Los Angeles.
We're gonna
With
get
the
some.
APDC. The C
Nope.
stands for
Don't approach-
cocaine.
don't approach
We're
me
gonna get
about
some Caleb, some rails.
Don't approach me about any of that.
You want to do some horse?
Nope.
Zippers, boomers, buzzers, zappers.
Zingers.
Yeah, I mean, of course, these are jokes.
My rule about cocaine is I just don't want to buy it. I'll do it if it's available.
I just feel awful the next day when I do that kind of stuff.
I haven't done it since my 20s, so I probably would as well.
yeah.
but,
Cocaine, there is no next day.
it just keeps on. The hits just keep on rolling.
I just can't bounce back.
Hey, there is no tomorrow, baby. There's only right now.
Let's see here. We don't have any podcast reviews. So you know what we should do? We should shout out our friends.
All right.
The patrons. Alpha Magnus, Debbie, Jeremy Skeeter, Sadler, Mike Seibert, Bono, Michael Trimlett, Justin R., Jonathan, Robinus Prime, Classic Daniel, Safubi Samurai, Chandler, J Soups, Maddie V, Nick the Toy Mad Dad, Ken Buckleman,
Big Copper.
DFB Greg Murray, a.k.a. Moondog Greg Murray, Captain Alexis, Corey, James and Julia, Mr. Michael Ordway, Tim Dubs, Jason from Cracktastic Plastic, Thomas, Justin B., Triclops, Alex, Simon, New Daniel, Seven the Chronicler, Argonus Prime, The Unknown Patron,
Patron.
Brian Jones, Autobot 1000, Zarmat, and the Anonymous Patron. Thank you all.
You don't know who
for
I am. I
your
could be
support.
anybody. I'm Rumpelstiltskin.
Are you going to grant us some wishes?
You cannot guess my name. Oh, I gave it to you. I'm the worst. This part
What
of the
was the
story.
story of Rumpelstiltskin? He wove gold from some hay
Hay.
or something?
Hay into gold, and he
Why
wanted
did
a
he do that?
child. I think he wanted a kid. He wanted a. Was that right? No. Am I thinking?
There's
I'm
some
thinking of something
swindling
else.
involved for sure.
And couldn't guess his name. I need to brush up on my stilts.
But that's the same game that Schmeagol plays with
Bilbo.
Baggins. Guess my name. Or no, that's not the game.
Or was she
It was Guess
supposed-
What's in My Pocket. That was the game.
Is it?
Fun.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Or
that.
like I think they played a series of riddles actually.
There was some trickery.
There was riddles, and then one of the riddles was What's in My Pocket.
Who's in my mouth?
I've got
Yeah.
something in my pocket for you.
You.
Oh, this is great. This is just as good as the last episode.
Which
Ryan,
was awesome.
Yo.
why don't you make us something that may suck the very life from us?
I'm excited about this one, boys.
Okay.
And while he does that, I'm going to pee.
Well, without Aaron here, I really don't have any kind of banter while you're making the drinks.
I'm sorry. I need to grab some nutmeg.
You're leaving? I'm all by myself.
Enjoy. Do it after dark.
I'm not doing no after dark. I'll just do the sound of like the wind blowing. I'm here all alone. Boys have gone upstairs. It's January in Missouri. So cold. Who sat outside my igloo? You there, outside in the igloo. Oh, come on in. It's warmer in here.
Hey,
Yeah. What are you doing out there in the cold? Come inside this igloo. Would you like some whale blubber?
Yeah.
Here you go. Eat it.
Chewy.
Yeah. Hey, could you shut the flap on the igloo, please? Feel free to. Oh, this is going to be delicious. I'm so excited. All right, Ryan,
Yay!
this looks really interesting and good. What do you got?
This episode, we're doing a cocktail our buddy Chandler has been kicking around for us to do for some time. This is the Puerto Rican coquito. And coquito means little coconut. There are like tons of different recipes for this drink. It seems like every family abuela has their own version, kind of like house rules and Monopoly. It's sometimes called a Puerto Rican eggnog. Mostly it seems because it's a creamy drink consumed during the holidays.
Yes.
There's no, but like it's kind of a misnomer. There's traditionally no eggs in it. I took a lot of this recipe from Greg at How to Drink on YouTube. This version is kind of a 1950s style coquito by bartender Giuseppe Gonzalez. So for the coquito, you will need 12 ounces or 355 mils can of evaporated milk, 15 ounce or 444 milliliters can of cream of coconut like Coco Lopez. Winter spices of your choice. I use 2 cinnamon sticks, 2 whole cloves, 1 star anise, grated nutmeg, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Combine all these ingredients in a saucepan and gently heat to barely a simmer for like 10 to 15 minutes. You want to stir it, making sure the milk doesn't burn. We're just trying to infuse the flavors, not to cook it. Cool and bottle the coquito, and then add 10 ounces or 296 mils of Puerto Rican rum, like Bacardi or Don Q. It's about a 2-to-1 ratio, coquito to rum. And then you just chill it overnight in the fridge. I rimmed our glasses with a little honey and coconut to add a nice little... Oh, wait, I forgot one component.
Oh, God. There's more.
Fuck.
It
That
looks
was a
really
close
amazing.
one.
I've never had anything. This looks like something I've never had. Oh, I love these. Thank you.
You can just stick it in mine.
And then I put a little, like biscotti straw biscuit thing. It's a hazelnut and chocolate. Yeah. You can also avoid the heat and make this in a blender, but if you do, I recommend a method where you infuse the rum with the spices for like 24 hours before adding it so you don't have to blend up spices and shit. So, this is coquito.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers last time?
No. It's not refreshing, but it's not supposed to be. And it's very good. It's strong.
There's a lot of rum in there.
You said this was from Chandler?
Yeah, he's been wanting me to
This
do
is
this
good.
for a long time. And I was gonna do this for a holiday episode. I think traditionally this is made in Puerto Rico around Thanksgiving, and then you drink it like through the holidays, and then especially on, I believe it's called Three Kings Day, which I think this year was January 6th, so we missed that. But yeah, I couldn't get it into the rotation until now.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the coconut on the rim.
And the little,
And the
that's where
honey.
you get the sweetness. Is there's a little like whatever
Mm-hmm.
the gel you used or the
Honey.
honey. Mm-hmm. That's all it needs right there.
It's great.
So thanks for this one, Chandler. Hey, if you'd like to buy us a drink, you could send $5 to add a podcast on PayPal. Tell me what you would like me to make, and I will make it on a future episode because I can't make it on a past one.
That's not how that works.
Nope. Time for us is
For us.
linear.
I play the theme, but I've got my hands full here. This is great.
Well, put it back in your pants.
Nope.
Dick jokes.
Last episode recap, we were on our Joe shit. Hector Ramirez, Cobra Hole in the Ground, Baroness Disguise. Guys, it was a real gas.
It was.
That's good.
That refers back to the gas from the episode. You see, there's a lot of gas.
We're all gonna die.
So let's get back to the Beast Wars with The Web, written by Larry DiTillo, directed by C. Michael Easton, and broadcast on September 18th, 1996. Just starting our freshman years of college.
Yeah, man.
I would say, so
man.
just for clarity's sake, I should mention that we do realize that production order and air date on Season 1 of Beast Wars is a little different. For whatever reason, TF Wiki has them in air order as opposed to production order, whereas in G1 they did the opposite. We talked about it for a bit, and I had some conversations on Discord about whether it matters or we should do air date or production. Ultimately, I decided it just doesn't hugely matter, so I stuck with air date order for simplicity. So it's experiencing them in the way that everyone else did at the time. Like, for example, today's episode is the third one aired, but the sixth one produced.
Interesting. I find that these so far that these are very like, and correct me if I'm wrong because obviously I've only seen 3 episodes, but that these episodes there's a bigger issue like attention to continuity than I would say in the G1.
Yeah, they that was an issue that Hasbro actually had, but Larry DiTilio and Bob Forward wanted to do more through lines, and Hasbro really wanted them more episodic. But ultimately, it ended up the story editors ended up kind of winning with going more like with a storyline through the whole thing.
I have a little bit about Larry DiTilio. Do we want to do that now?
DiTilio.
I have some in script deviations.
We'll talk about it later then.
All right.
All right. Well, we pan across a river, up a waterfall, through a canyon, up the mountain
I
to
love-
the maximal ship.
Over
Like
the
the
river?
the
Through the woods.
flutes and like the drums that they have in these background sounds or score.
These canyons look like where I'm going to be going for my trip after TFCon LA. I'm going to the Zion National Park. I'll take some pictures while I'm there, and everybody can see. Like, oh yeah,
Oh,
that would be
yeah.
a good place. to
totally
be.
right, totally right.
We found a mountain of Energon.
Yeah.
We find that Rhinox has made some updates to the Maximal Comm link, which will help with long-range communications. Cheetor is down to help test it. They want to test the distance range. Primal straps the prototype to Cheetor's front shoulder, and they send him down the road, telling him to check in every 10 microquads.
I don't really understand why Rhinox is so pessimistic about his own invention. He reiterates like 3 times like, that it probably won't work. Like every time Primal talks about how it could solve their long-distance communication issues, he's like, yeah, if it works, probably won't work. I'm just a big piece of shit, I guess. He's giving some real Eeyore energy here.
I mean, it does feel like it's only a prototype. They haven't tested it yet.
It's not really even a prototype because later we'll find out he doesn't have the parts to make another one.
Right. I mean, well, it's still, that doesn't make it less of a prototype.
Well, wouldn't a prototype imply that you can make something better?
It does.
But he can't.
Right.
So it's just a thing.
I mean, if he had the resources,
just a
he
type.
could. If he had
There's
the
no proto.
If he had the resources, he could. I think I see what you're saying, but it's a first run at whatever it is. We got
First and last.
The first and last.
I really appreciate Optimus assuring Rhinox that Cheetor will be just fine. That they've given him a chance to do the job.
He's wrong. But
That's true.
A ways down the canyon, we see Scorponok digging up some random debris. He's having trouble pulling the hunk of metal out of the mountain in Scorpion mode, so he goes to robot mode and fires some rockets at the mountain. That's how you do things.
it works. He's pulling this, what looks like a coffin.
I would think it'd be maybe dangerous, like you might accidentally destroy the thing you're trying to recover.
My first impression was that there was going to be like another transformer inside this thing.
Oh, you thought it was a stasis pod?
Yeah,
I did too, actually.
but it's not.
Cheetor checks into the base at 5 microquads away. The comm is working. However, he heard an explosion and wants to check it out, and then he just clocks out, which irritates Primal, who's now going to have to go after him.
I will say Cheetor is annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I guess he's a young bot, but, like, he's irritating. I don't like him.
He's just young and he's just
He's just trying to get the job done for the Autobot.
he's got to
Or
learn.
whatever these guys are, the Maximals.
Yeah. I don't like the Cheetor focused episodes, really.
Okay.
Cheetor identifies Scorponok as the source of the explosion. Scorponok has found a mega cannon, which had fallen off the Predacon ship.
Mhm.
Megatron will be very pleased at this find. Cheetor announces his presence and holds Scorponok up with his brain or intestine or whatever it is cannon fully charged and ready to blast. Cheetor attempts to communicate with the Maximal base, but it does not seem to work. But
So Rhinox was kind of right.
well, that's actually a point. I didn't put it in my notes, but at the time I watched this, he says to check in every 10 of whatever those imaginary units are, microquads.
Mm-hmm.
He checked in at 5. Presumably, he's not much further than 5, perhaps not 10 away, and it already doesn't work. So
Rhinox
Rhinox was right. He should
He's
have.
like, he's like, see, I told you.
They
Is
should.
that-
Why wouldn't they have him checking in at earlier increments?
But doesn't he say later? No, because he does talk to Rhinox, and Rhinox says that Prime's on his way. So I don't really know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying at this point he attempted to communicate
Did
with
he?
the maximal base and it didn't work.
Are you sure?
Let's watch.
Scorponok's here and he's found a mega cannon. He must have come
Why
from their
would he do
ship.
that?
I've got to stop him before he gets it back to their base. Cheetor out.
Those have got to be guts.
Like Intestines.
I don't know why you keep coming back to that.
Cheetor to base. I got the gig in hand. Tell Optimus to home in on my signal. Cheetor to base. Come in,
Okay, so-
Rhinox.
See?
Yeah, he just doesn't respond.
Yeah. I mean, it could
That doesn't
just be
make any fucking sense at all.
It could be that somebody's not. Yeah, just not. I don't. Rhinox was taking a shit or something.
It's dumb. I don't know why they included that at all. The second communication that doesn't work for no reason.
Right. So he does communicate. Rhinox is like
Prime's on his way.
Prime's on his way.
Primal.
He tries to communicate again, and here we are.
Yeah.
What Cheetor doesn't know is that Tarantulus is also on site. Tarantulus provides a, I guess, kind of a distraction that allows Scorponok to then blast Cheetor, and I don't know why I created a nickname, T-Ranch, then recommends Scorponok hurry up and get that mega cannon back to the base. And from the skies, we'll see Optimus Primal scanning for his comrade, and he finds him all mangled up and seemingly near death's
It's
door.
pretty fucking gruesome. Like, his whole chest is exposed and his guts are in there, which apparently you seem to think are in his gun for some reason.
Maybe they're not his intestines.
I think it's just a
Somebody-
stylistic choice.
Somebody else's intestines.
Like,
are
there's no
jammed into the back of the
intestines.
gun.
Like, they're robots.
I don't get it either. Why does Rat Trap have a brain?
There is a reason. I don't know if I've talked about it, but initially the design, he was supposed to be like really fucked up. Like, his design was not when his protoform, like when he chose his new form, it was supposed to be really bizarre and gross, and so that's just a holdover from that.
Like gross how?
Like, just really mangled. And, like, I don't know why you guys thought this was a good idea. But obviously they didn't, because they didn't do it.
Except for the brain.
Yeah, you're right. The brain's weird. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm assuming that there's a commercial break at this point.
I believe so, as Cheetor's eyes go to black. And then we get this horrible dream sequence.
Yeah, we find ourselves in the unconscious mind of Cheetor. On Cybertron, we see a Seeker
I mean, it's pretty obviously Starscream.
that I've heard called out as Starscream. Let's check the colors on this.
So check this out.
And we see the Decepticon symbol on his
Yeah.
wing.
Someone asks, I have a weird question. Is Cheetor's gun made of his intestines? It sure looks like it in the original Beast Wars show. And somebody replies, yep.
Oh, maybe I'm completely
On the
idiot.
toy, the gun snaps into place on his underside in beast mode and becomes his abdomen.
Oh, so I'm the fool. You nailed it, Aaron. One time I've ever been wrong.
Once again, I'm proven.
Yes, I mean, I would have. I
be
would have
amazing.
if I hadn't have read that though, Ryan. I would be like, yeah, it's just a design element that
But-
that just coincidentally looks like.
I mean, I was
guts.
assuming it was a design element that they purposefully designed to look that way.
But that is interesting.
We'd have to
Yeah.
really. I'd like to take a look at the toy and really just check that out.
I think
Really?
I read somewhere that this is supposed to be Starscream, but it's, I guess, okay, the blue tail fins, maybe.
in the red.
Man, I
Yeah.
love this. Before I realized that it was a dream, I really thought, oh, cool, we are. This
We're already back.
and I really love the look of Cybertron on this. It
Yeah.
looks
I do
so
too.
cool.
It is also pretty interesting that we are already getting elements from G1 bleeding into the series this early.
Makes sense.
Although that is an Earth mode. I mean, he's having a hallucination. But this happens before. No, this is
Well-
after. This is after the Autobots would have been to Earth.
Yeah.
Right?
Millions of years after.
Anyway, so yeah, we see a Seeker with the traditional Decepticon logo.
Mm-hmm.
The camera pans, and we see that Cheetor is facing off against Megatron, Pterosaur, and Waspinator. He's whooping their asses, blasting away at the Decepticons, blowing Megatron's head clean off.
I hated that. I realize it's a dream, but I hated the Megatron head flying into the building and his teeth falling out like Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
That annoyed the shit out of me.
I think a younger viewer might be okay with it.
Maybe, sure. I also
But
felt
I
like
agree.
this episode feels really padded out, like they had like 4 servings of episode trying to stretch for 8 people.
Yeah.
Because this dream sequence goes on fucking forever.
Aside from that, I really like the look of Cybertron. Do we, in later on in Beast Wars, do we see Cybertron anymore?
I don't remember.
It'll be interesting to see if we do.
I think they returned to Cybertron eventually for Beast
Beast
Machines,
Machines.
maybe. But a show we'll definitely not be covering.
I don't
right,
think so.
Ryan?
I don't think so.
Okay. Double checking in on that. I assume that the Megatron head blown off thing is meant to like really solidify that this is a dream. But
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, sure, I get it.
Now, that
So-
being said, there are a lot of cool angles, like when we see the gun, the projectile coming out of the gun from inside the gun. And there's just a lot of, and like we said last episode, and the episode before probably, there's just a lot of really interesting dynamic angles in this show, like even just flying through the canyons like we did when we opened up. It's just a lot of cool camera shit.
I would say maybe a scene like this with Megatron's head, the artists, the illustrators are having some fun with playing with the technology.
They're having a laugh.
They're
you having a laugh?
You're having a laugh.
The his teeth falling out like piano keys.
Yes.
Style is.
It is
kinda-
literally-
maybe a little- maybe
it
a
is-
little
Honestly,
too
I wish
much.
they'd just gone the whole way and had musical notes coming out. as they
have
fell.
an anvil smash him on the head.
However, Cheetor at this point is taunted from the shadows by Tarantulus and then Scorponok, who opens his claws, fires a rocket, incoming, and
I will say, Tarantulus is fucking terrifying in this episode.
yeah, for sure. The lights on the eyes in the darkness are. I like that.
If they didn't make
effect.
his eyes glow in the dark in the toy, that's a real missed opportunity.
Do
And
scorpions, they have a lot of eyes too, don't they?
I mean, they are arachnids, I believe. I don't know how many eyes they have. Because not all spiders, well, there are true spiders and there are other spiders, but not all spiders have 8 eyes. And certainly Tarantulus doesn't.
Why do you say that?
He has 9.
Oh, you fucked up.
Which
the
is weird.
science.
I don't know why they did that.
An odd number of eyes.
Yeah, why not 8? Because later Rat Trap calls him 8 eyes and it's 9.
Huh.
I just don't understand why they made 9 eyes.
Cheetor awakes
There are-
upon the Axelon.
I see 8 eyes.
8 eyes!
I don't know this reference at all.
Star Trek.
Awoken on the Axelon, repaired by Rhinox, Cheetor's back to being himself.
Great.
And the Maximals are pretty pissed at him for costing them the advantage of their comm link. This isn't a fucking game, pussycat. Primal's going to have to call Dinobot to get knowledge about the Mega Cannon. Cheetor offers to sneak inside the Predacon base, but Optimal is not having it. Rat Trap delivers some barbs that cause Cheetor to make off. Most likely for the Predacon base, Rhinox guilts Cheetor into going after him.
Yeah, Primal's like, you've done enough. You're on punishment.
Timeout.
Mm-hmm. You're grounded. And then Rhinox, whenever he asks like Rat Trap to go after him or whatever, gives this weird, like almost sinister smile. And I'm like, maybe one of his character quirks is just these sly little glances. They're so strange.
Maybe he wants them both dead. He's like, get rid of both of them. It's just me and Primal alone in the
Well, then Dinobot.
Axelon. No, Dinobot's. He's not in the build. He's not in the building.
I don't like this. I don't like what you're doing.
You know what I'm doing.
I hate it.
You know what they're doing. Just 2 bears mauling each other. So, we find ourselves outside the Predacon base. Pterosaur and Scorponok are installing the Mega Cannon, and we see Cheetor there. He's waiting for the right moment to sneak on base or strike or something, but then he's captured by Tarantulus.
I think one of the main things that causes some of the animation to look off in this is there are no shadows, basically.
Yeah.
Like, there are no shadows on
Yeah.
the ground, and it can make things appear that they're not entirely part of the scene. I don't know why there are no shadows. I don't know if they're maybe, for whatever bizarre reason, harder to render in the scene. I don't know why that would be. I mean, we have to talk to that animator that we're talking to in the future about it. But
I would say, yeah, I don't know why they have that ninth eye in there. I would say that it was probably an issue, a production issue, where either they didn't have the ability, or when they tried it, it just didn't. It just wasn't working.
I guess, yeah.
I would assume that's pretty fundamental, though, to CGI, like being able to cast a shadow.
It just doesn't seem that much harder than the actual work. But again, I don't know.
They have to have some sort of lighting instrumentation to
Right.
have the shading on the characters themselves.
These will be the questions that we ask.
Yeah,
What's
we'll do
up? Are there any Beast Wars people? There's Beast Wars people at TFCon LA, right?
that. I don't know.
I don't know.
If there are, I've got
They
to ask
always
that
build
question.
them as G1 reunions.
So, what did you have with the problems with the shadows? Why weren't there any shadows?
That's you in the
Yeah,
Comic
at
book man,
the panel.
Yeah. Why did you not put shadows in? Why did
The
you
voice actor,
fail
sir.
at that?
Sir,
The guy's like, I just did the voice.
I'm wasn't on Beast Wars.
I'm Peter Cullen.
I'm Optimus Prime. The Cheetor later wakes up ensnared in the stasis web. Stretched across a dark cave, Tarantulus welcomes Cheetor to his fate. It's kind of like Princess Bride's The Machine. It sucks his energy from him, but will leave his drained flesh intact because Tarantulus prefers the slow setting because he's more of a braised meats versus a grilled meat type of spider.
Okay.
Low and slow.
I've just sucked 1 year of your life away. I might
Perhaps as
one day
far
go as high as five,
five.
but I really don't know what that would do to you. So let's just start with what we have.
How does this make you feel?
Again, this comes back to Princess Bride.
Yeah, that's the reference.
That's why I brought it up.
God
at the
damn it!
beginning.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, there's no. Why are you apologizing?
Oh, so
He's
I
in the-
wrote
he's in
like
the pit of despair.
I felt like so again, Tarantulus is really creepy. I wrote he has a Dr. Mengele vibe, which I know I bring him up all the time, but it works in this application.
I agree.
Do you?
I do.
Yep.
Maximal headquarters.
I don't know why they're in beast mode so often in their ship. I think it does start to happen less in the show because, as we'll see in a second, Rhinox comes up and puts his fucking weird like rhino feet up on the table, and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Dinobot and Primal are viewing a holographic image of the Predacon base. Dinobot demands a frontal assault now, but Primal is being more strategic. Surely the Predacons are leveraging the cannon as a defensive measure rather than spend the resources on an offensive modification. Elsewhere, Rat Trap is seeking out Cheetor. Anything you want to say about this scene before I transition?
No, it's
Other than the hoof?
I mean, no. That's it.
Elsewhere, Rat Trap is seeking out Cheetor. Following his scent, he discovers the entrance to Tarantulus' den. Rat Trap finds Cheetor, Tarantulus, and the web, and they get right into it, blasting up the cave all around them.
Cheetor tries to reason with Tarantulus that he doesn't have any blood, only mech fluid, and as per the fact that Tarantulus is just a fucking psychopath, he says it's not really about the nutrients. He just likes killing and drinking people.
All right.
Yeah. It's a pretty good battle scene, honestly.
Yeah.
Between Rat Trap and Tarantulus blasting up the cave all around us.
And it's neat with when Tarantulus uses I guess we're just going to call thermal vision. Yeah.
Rat Trap takes shelter behind some cavey columns while T-Dog hunts using his thermal scan.
T-Dog.
Rat Trap leaves a hot box behind, which emits this thermal energy to fool Tarantulus into thinking that he's found him. But he's been fooled, and Tarantulus ultimately gets got.
Yeah, I remember falling for the old hot box.
Over and over.
Mexico.
Back in college.
Yeah, yeah.
I got the clap. Pee and razor blades.
My God. Any more?
Pussy.
Tarantulus unleashes a rocket which hits the cavernous ceiling above him, dropping tons of stone on him,
Oh, you
which
missed
temporarily traps him.
You skipped the part where Rat Trap treats the control device like a vending machine that doesn't work.
Oh, I thought I got.
Maybe you did. Maybe I was focused on my hotbox joke.
Pussy. Well, yeah, I say Rat Trap frees Cheetor by blasting the control unit of the stasis web. But yeah, to your point, it's just throwing it like it's a comedic scene.
It is.
It's a comedic beat because it just flashes to the edge of the cliff below it, and you see it flying off of it.
Yeah.
Tarantulus eventually frees himself from the rocks. He blasts a rocket towards the web, which causes a huge explosion, which our Maximal pals dive away from unscathed.
Yeah, we get like 3 different shots of them diving away like an 80s action movie. That's it.
Tarantulus is again covered by large amounts of rubble. So moving through the notes really quickly on these shows.
Well, again, I just don't think a lot happens in this episode, really.
Yeah.
You guys want some more of that?
Yeah, hook me up. A couple things I'll say before we move on to the final scene. Tarantulus says, "Welcome to the Inferno."
Yeah.
Which I guess becomes important to Beast Wars lore later. I picked up on I think maybe it's sort of a Beast Wars interpretation of the afterlife or hell or something like that. But they're going to later call it the Pit because there will be a character introduced eventually called Inferno.
Maybe I had that in script deviations.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No.
Then I won't say the rest of the things that I had to say about it.
We'll see. You
we
can
return
add to it.
When you start to say it, I'll try and say it with you.
Okay. That'll be great. Everybody will love it.
Can't wait to see that.
We return once again to the Maximal base. Trap doesn't rat Cheetor out for his dereliction of duty. Cheetor thanks Rat Trap for not stooling on him, and Rat Trap lets him know that the only reason he didn't tell on him is that Primal would have been mad at him too. But still, Cheetor remains thankful.
It's so funny. It's so funny that 2/3 of the way through this episode, we completely forget about taking out the Mega Cannon altogether. Like, whenever they get back to the base, Dinobot and Primal are still just looking at this goddamn hologram, even though Dinobot was like, "We have to go now." It's just, it was very. I'm like, this is a non-episode episode.
And I think I read somewhere that the Mega Cannon is never mentioned again.
No, it never comes up again. That's a very G1 move.
Yeah. So that's the end of this episode. Ryan,
Yeah.
you were right. Beast Wars is great.
Wow.
Oh,
Like, we never had any shit to talk about G1.
I don't mind us if sometimes we're a shorter episode,
No, I'm just
especially
joking.
when I want to get home
Been very
as soon
negative
as possible.
today.
I'm just joking around. But hey, I've got a little something about
What you got?
For the toy collectors out there
Oh, yeah.
in our post-show segments. Beast Wars had several toy cycles starting in 1996 with a second wave in 1997, and then 1998 brought us Fusors and Transmetals. And of course, in 1999, we got Transmetals 2 before ultimately giving way to the Beast Machines sequel line. There have been vintage reissues of many of these original Beast Wars toys, and ultimately many of the characters were reborn starting in 2021, and the War for Cybertron Kingdom line that was tied to the Netflix television program that was going on at the time. And they're still, as I sit here and speak, they're still releasing new Beast Wars
Constantly.
figures. But let's talk Masterpiece for a second, because in 2016, you have the very first Masterpiece edition Beast Wars figure with MP32 Convoy, a.k.a. Masterpiece Optimus Primal. Primal was the winner of a fan poll in 2013 in which Transformers fans were asked to name which Autobot leader from the franchise history should get the MP treatment, and so be it.
Yeah.
Of course that guy wins.
You don't have him, do you?
I do not. I don't have any Masterpiece Beast Wars figures.
Are those? I'll start paying more attention to those figures now when we go out to cons and stuff. But is the color a lot of fun on a lot of those figures? You know, when they like.
Yeah, I feel like for the paint, I recall that they used some interesting technology to apply the textures to it.
Yeah.
If I just
Because it just seems like I wasn't paying much attention to that over the years because I'd see that and be like, and I'm focused on G1, 80s G1 stuff, and but I would think it'd be quite a challenge but also if you can pull it off, to be a pretty
That
satisfying
looks pretty good.
result. To get cool colors though too.
You said 2019 this came out?
This came out in 2016.
Oh.
Textures, yeah.
Yeah, like you can see the texture on
That's really
the
neat.
flesh, and I think that was some like clearly that's not painted in a traditional way, and I'm positive they didn't hand paint all of the
Just some poor schmuck in the basement.
for
Can you see?
no, I think it was an interesting color application. What's that?
Can I see them transformed, maximized, as they say?
Here's a maximized version.
cool
Yeah, it
looking.
looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the toys all look amazing. Have all the little accessories and everything that you'd want. In 2017, Takara released MP34 Cheetus, aka Masterpiece Cheetor. While in development, it was planned to include 2 Comlink accessories based on this very episode, but they one for Beast and one for the robot mode. But ultimately, this was abandoned. Let's see, Masterpiece Cheetor looks great as well.
Yeah.
Lots of kibble on them legs in the back there. Different facial expressions. Some toy-centric face masks. This was followed by another good guy, which is MP41 Dinobot, who comes with a golden disc accessory.
So did Cheetor not come with any interesting accessories except the masks?
It looks like that's it. I mean, he's got his Intestines gun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess the masks are for different expressions. Yeah, this is a little
That's annoying.
nasty
Yeah,
back here.
The back legs, yeah, in beast mode.
But overall, I think it looks pretty nice.
Yep.
I'm starting to see. I'm growing. I'm getting a whole new appreciation for these types of toys.
Then you got Masterpiece Dinobot. Again, it comes with the golden disc, which we learned about in the very first episode of the show. In 2019, we got MP43 Megatron, which is a really fantastic looking figure, actually. They did a great job with it aesthetically. Its accessories include a toothbrush, the reason for which I'm sure we'll find out later. And I feel like this one though it had some QC problems. I feel like pieces of the little hip things there would break off, and it wasn't well regarded for its quality. In 2019, we've got MP46 Black Widow, aka Black Arachnia. We haven't met her on the show yet, but I'm sure that when we do, we'll find out more about her poison anchor accessory.
I think I said on one of the episodes that she was a season 2 thing. I believe that's not correct. I believe she does show up in season 1.
Thank God. I want some of that. I just feel like the character seems pretty cool.
She's my favorite. She's my favorite character in the show.
Here's her.
She looks badass.
Yeah. In 2020, we were graced with Leo Convoy, which is actually from Beast Wars 2, another Beast Wars franchise that I'm thinking we will not cover. And eventually, we also received MP50 Tigatron or Tigatron? Tigatron. And I'm not going to pull up a picture of him, but I believe he's an upscaled and remolded design of Cheetor. It's taller, thicker, clearly has a tiger head instead of a cheetah head.
He's an interesting character in the show. Actually, I mean, they're all interesting in their own way, but he's
a good one.
In particular, interesting. I don't want to spoil it.
He comes with a Megatron-shaped cube puzzle, which I'm excited to discover what that means.
I don't remember.
You
that.
look lost. Okay,
I don't remember that.
Since 2000, so that was in 2000. I want to say 20 or 21 when that came out. Since 2020, we've yet to receive a new Beast Wars Masterpiece mold. However, it's expected that in this year of our Lord, 2024, we will get MP59 Rhinox, which
that would be awesome.
The prototypes I've seen of it look really like goofy, particularly in Rhino mode. But let's see here. I mean, maybe that's just how he looks. I guess
that doesn't look. I mean, that looks like his character.
Yeah.
What don't you like about it?
I don't know. The ears make me. I don't know. It just looks doopy.
Well,
but that's what he looks like.
Then he looks.
That's
doopy.
what he looks like.
Does it have his chain gun?
Or is that what that is?
Are these all scaled in a way where if you had like all the right characters, you could have Optimus Primal riding on Rhinox, and you could recreate that.
I'm guessing people will be able to do that. Yeah.
What about Rat?
I think these are like. I think they are going to be in consistent scale with each other.
I'm sorry if you've already mentioned this. I just don't remember. What about Rat Trap?
There is not a masterpiece Rat Trap yet. In fact, that
would be a challenge, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I would have said that. I would have said that about all of these, but it's impressive how well they can hide the robot inside the maximal form.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so, that's the toys. That's Masterpiece, Beast Wars,
Those are
toys.
impressive.
Cool.
In the real world.
All right, boy. The real world. The Web aired September 18th, 1996. In the American Top 40, Macarena is number one, as you may recall. So this time, let's talk about the number one song for 6 weeks in March and April of 1996. The Celine Dion love song, Because You Loved Me, from her fourth English language studio album, Falling Into You.
Sorry about that.
Because
Need to oil these things.
Yeah.
Because You Loved Me was written by Diane Warren and produced by David Foster. It's the theme song from the Robert Redford and Michelle Pfeiffer vehicle Up Close and Personal, the number one movie for 1 week in March of 96, by the way. Billboard ranked this song as the 14th top love song of all time.
Oh, come on. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
All right.
Hey,
So negative today.
something against that song.
Because You Loved Me did quite well. If it's your favorite song, that's cool. I couldn't really find anything else very interesting to talk about it. It's fine. I hope Celine Dion's doing better.
Why? What's going on?
She has a rare neurological disorder known as stiff person syndrome.
I'm sorry to hear that.
She was diagnosed a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's literally 1 in a million that causes you to kind of it affects your it's just what it sounds like.
Interesting.
It's awful.
Oh,
But
so-
it does respond to treatment, so that's why
good.
I said, she's doing better. Number one at the box office, Maximum Risk is number one, and we covered that. So here's a movie that was number one for 2 weeks in January of 1996, a favorite of mine, 12 Monkeys.
wow.
Yep.
2 weeks.
I'm a fan.
I'm surprised that made it to number one.
Terry Gilliam, bros.
Terry Gilliam, she was in a bubble, bro. I don't know if you know that video, but 12 Monkeys is a sci-fi thriller directed by Terry Gilliam, starring Bruce Willis, Madeline Stowe, Brad Pitt, and Christopher Plummer. It was written by married team David and Janet Peebles, the former who also wrote Blade Runner and Unforgiven. This movie was inspired by Chris Marker's 1962 short film Le Jeté. It's a time travel movie set both in a post-apocalyptic future of 2035, 11 years from now, boys, and the present of 1996. Bruce Willis is ostensibly sent back to prevent a man-made viral catastrophe that caused the state of the world in the future, but being a Terry Gilliam film, it's really wonderfully bizarre and not entirely clear what is real and what is imaginary. Gilliam's first choice for the male leads were Nick Nolte and Jeff Bridges, which would have been wild.
I think they could have pulled
I
it
could
off.
see it. I could see it.
Yeah.
It was apparently a very tough shoot, particularly because it was fairly low budget for a film of this kind, and the filmmakers, for whatever reason, weren't allowed to access Universal sound stages. I can't find out why. So the crew mostly filmed in abandoned buildings and on location. Terry Gilliam is also a perfectionist, and he was adamant about not going over budget or time because he was kind of haunted by the devastating criticism he got while filming Munchausen.
Yeah.
Which is also a interesting and
Those
truly bizarre film.
that and like Time Bandits.
Time Bandits, yeah.
They're beautiful in that what that he can pull off visually, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I also like when you see these movies, it's very obvious he has a very specific stylistic vision.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah,
That's the style.
but it's
No, I
also
mean,
like
that's
future tech of like weird
Just-
old tech.
He's very good at representing dystopia. Look at Brazil. Watch Brazil. Everyone.
Brazil, yeah. The visual effects are spectacular, and in Gilliam's stylistic way, the art department made sure that the world of 2035 would only use pre-1996 tech to show the bleakness of the future. A lot of the materials and props were salvaged from flea markets and warehouses. 12 Monkeys broke Good Morning Vietnam's record of $11.7 million for the highest weekend debut in January with $13.8 million.
I went and saw it.
I did too. I own it. Over there.
I don't think I saw it till home video.
That's okay.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, it's all right.
Sorry.
I really enjoyed Brad Pitt in that movie.
He won Best Supporting Actor for that movie. The film was a critical and financial success, grossing $169 million worldwide on a $29 million budget. So, about 2/3 of what Clue cost.
I wonder if that's Terry Gilliam's highest grossing movie.
Probably by a wide margin.
Did you know Time Bandits is coming out as a television limited television series with one of the main stars being Lisa Kudrow?
Huh.
I know. I'm really curious.
Do you know that she met Andrew Cunanan, the guy who shot Versace?
And
No.
like post homicide? Or
No. He shot himself before he was arrested.
How and what?
She was in like Miami for some reason and at a party that he happened to be at, and he annoyed her to the point where she had to escape.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you
Just
go.
a thing I know about Lisa Kudrow. And Andrew Cunanan. Okay.
12 Monkeys. Awesome movie.
Yeah, like I said, Brad Pitt won Best Supporting Actor for his role in the movie, and it's really the kind of movie you kind of get more and more out of the more you watch if you like those type of movies, because it's very surreal and strange, and I love it. Like, it was made into a TV series later on the Sci-Fi Network that ran for 4 seasons from 2015 to 2018, which I didn't see.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. People seem to really like it, especially starting with the second season.
Did they continue the story, or was it sort of a retelling?
No clue. But I know that Terry Gilliam was not really contacted about it, and when asked about it, he's like, I don't really see how you'd make that a show. But, like, the first season was middling, apparently, and then the second season, everybody seemed to fucking love. So.
Okay.
I knew about the existence of it, but I never saw it.
Rip Deviations.
I have them.
They exist?
No.
Oh,
Sorry to get your hopes up.
damn.
I continue to be on the lookout for early drafts and scripts, but so far there's no joy in Mudville. I did happen to look late yesterday. I found there's a link on TF Wiki that I'll find and share, but like to a Google Drive that has a link to like the community boards where Larry DiTilio and Bob Forward started talking to the TF community, like the Transformers people that like love G1 and stuff. But it's enormous. It goes back like literally over a decade. So there's so much information. It's to comb through to try to find if there are any scripts in there. I don't know, but I'll keep looking for it.
We need to get an unpaid intern in on that.
Yep.
College kids, if you're looking for a great opportunity in the Transformers world,
Reach out.
reach out.
So I do have
Sorry, I needed a call to action there.
I have a little bit about this script, but first let's talk about the writer, Larry DiTilio, who's also the co-creator and story editor of the series, along with Bob Forward. Larry DiTilio broke into writing, in his words, by sheer idiot luck. After 6 years of film school, I was stupid enough to go door to door on Sunset Boulevard looking for an agent. Most of them threw me out with horrified looks. One was so amused, she agreed to read my scripts.
Went to the same place as I did to read about him. Go ahead, and I'll see if there's anything I want to fill in.
From the TF Wiki, mostly.
Yeah.
DiTilio was a key writer and also co-creator of She-Ra with J. Michael Straczynski in the mid-'80s, who credited DiTilio as the brains behind a great deal of the He-Man mythos. DiTilio was the author of Masks of... Oh, boy. Nyarlathotep? I think that's right. An RPG campaign book for Call of Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm.
And DiTilio also wrote on The Real Ghostbusters, Captain Power and Soldiers of the Future, Hour 25, and Babylon 5. DiTilio and Forward really wanted to make at least one female character on each side for the Maximals and Predacons, and not to spoil anything, but that's why Airraiser is female.
Same stuff.
Good acting.
I know. My impression was, now that I know that he was involved with RPG, campaign writing. Mm-hmm. I've only played D&D a couple times, but I really see the story pacing development in Beast Wars influenced by that type of RPG campaign style
Yeah.
structure.
It's apparently like one of the most well-regarded campaigns ever in any RPG. Like, I don't know if I told you guys this, but around my birthday, West and I went to play a role-playing game with her friend and her husband, who runs a lot of D&D campaigns, and I can't remember what it's called. Something. It's like a murder game where basically you light all these candles, and he tells you the story, and each of your characters like goes through and like you have to roll the dice, and you see whether you have a chance to die or whether you die or like you get a chance to do a saving roll, and then as it goes along, each candle gets blown out until the point of the game is great because everybody dies. That's the point of the game. It was really fun.
Right on.
It's I think the only real role-playing game, live action role-playing game I've ever played with anybody, but it was great. So, as it may be clear from this episode, Detilio's favorite character was Tarantulus, and unfortunately, Larry died in 2019 at the age of 71 of Parkinson's disease. So, Aaron, to your point, Tarantulus references the Inferno, which is the first reference to what would be synonymous with the Transformers version of Hell. Bob Ford and Larry Detilio created the phrase "by the Inferno" as a way to let the Predacons curse, although later they changed it to "by the pit" because, like you said, there's a character that shows up in the series named Inferno. And the idea of the pit is referenced in some later TF fiction briefly, like in the Prime cartoon and animated. And then basically they made the Matrix dimension the Maximal's version of heaven, and the pit was hell. And it's included in the show Bible, but not explicitly in the show itself. That's it. That's script deviation.
And now I know more.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't judge people by first impressions.
Yeah. That's what'll happen when I meet Scott McNeil, and he's like just a fucking good dude.
I bet we get cocaine from him. There's your answer. There's your answer.
I guess I would. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but yeah, I guess if I was going to do cocaine again, I'd do it with him. There's that scene from Ted where they do cocaine with the guy that's was Flash Gordon.
I don't. It's been
The
a
movie
long
or
time
the
since
show?
I've seen that
The movie, the teddy bear.
Yeah, I know. It's a show now.
That actor's going to be here at the Springfield Comic-Con soon, and so everybody's like, yeah, do cocaine with them.
Everybody's going to be like,
Great. They're going to be disappointed that that's just a movie.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the scheme? What is the scheme?
I actually, until you
Pretty
pointed
light.
out that weapon, it just goes
mega
away.
cannon.
Then I'm like, yeah, this just turns into a kind of a serial. It's got a big serial killer vibe going with it.
It really feels like a
I would
very
say poor scheme, but
roundabout way to introduce the Tarantulus character.
Yeah.
Well,
And
he was in the first two episodes.
Yeah, I know, but to get to know
to get into that dynamic, to get us to that dynamic.
Yeah, that it is. That's why I say it's a weird episode that I feel like is a little shy on. The only thing I like about it really is Tarantulus, and I was trying to think. You said serial killer vibe. When I watched this, I was trying to think of a serial killer that specifically killed to eat people, and I couldn't think of one because usually it's an escalation. Like, the point of the sexual thrill is to kill the person, and then eventually it becomes an escalation of eating them, where it's with like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and that. But I could not think of a killer who kills specifically to eat people.
Do you think that Cheetor came out of that with any sort of
Trauma?
definitely that, but any kind of development, any character development?
I really don't remember. I assume so because I don't remember him annoying me as much in the show when I watched it at the time it was airing as this episode did. So I can only assume he gets better, which is great because that's character growth.
Okay, we can.
I'm the ghost of the iconic moment.
I just had the whole milieu of Tarantulus being a terrifying creep.
Yeah, I like Tarantulus. I like his voice. I like the way
Yeah.
it looks. Got the whole dark evil scientist thing going on. I want more of this.
Yeah,
I think I'd like to see more of Tarantulus in
It's
action.
also interesting the dynamic when Black Arachnia shows up between her and Tarantulus.
Oh, really? Interesting.
as I recall.
They're both spiders. Oh my god! You know, also that vision of Cybertron, that Tron.
It was
level
awesome.
Cybertron.
Yeah, it was very cool.
It was almost a utopia, and I suppose that they were at peace for centuries at that point. So were we seeing like the rebuilt?
Well, it was also a dream.
Idyllic. I mean, it was a dream, but dreams being a reflection of
Or
reality.
a dream is a wish that your heart makes.
He's laughing at that. It's true. It's very true, Ryan.
Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Shot in the back. Very sad. Next time on the Autopod Decepticast. Yes.
Fun with teleportation is all I wrote down.
Okay.
Teleportate fun. No. Cancel it.
No, I'm going to give it. I'll give you 2 points.
Out of 100.
Utah, give me 2.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. If you would like to support the show,
Give, my fellow Decepticons! Give till it hurts!
well, there's several ways you can do it. The first of which that I recommend is a review on Apple Podcasts. There's also Spotify, Google Play, but you can also like or sub on YouTube. All those things are things that say to us, hey, people care.
It's been a little bit since we had a review, a new pod review.
We had 2 last time we recorded.
It's been a while since we recorded. It's been 3 weeks, I think. Maybe I just need the love.
We also have a Patreon.
We do.
The favored site of begging creatives. There's several levels of support at the
Or just people who are looking to make money from their art.
I recommend the $5 level, where that gets you the fantastical, legendary Autopod Decepticast
I
booty
recommend
box.
the $25
Yeah, I recommend
level,
the
but-
25 one
Right.
as well.
Speaking
All
of
right,
which, I know that there is. I owe Michael Tremblett 2 commissions, which will be in this box that we send to him next
Excellent.
time. So
Michael, we've been holding out. I'm so sorry.
I communicated with him. He's very understanding. He's like, it's cool.
You can find out how to get your products later than promised at patreon.com/apoddcast. Merch, autopoddecepticast.com/store. And I've heard about this thing called Buy Us a Drink.
Yeah, if you would like to have your cocktail of choice featured on an episode, you could just send us $5 hairs to @apoddcast on PayPal and put in the notes what you would like me to make, the ingredients, maybe why you like this drink and want me to make it, and we will have it on an episode in the future.
And oh God, there it is. Yep. I was hoping it would be sped up.
Oh, I can do that.
Inside your wallet now and buy us a drink.
There it is.
I won't speed it up.
I
Wait for
refuse.
that on a future episode, maybe.
And thank you to Chandler, who hooked us up with this
Absolutely, the cookie
amazing cocktail. So good. If you want to chat, hang out, socialize a little bit, turn the parasocial into social, you can find us at Twitter, Facebook, Threads, and Instagram, all of them at APODcast. And if you become a patron at any level, why, you have access to the notorious APDC Discord.
It's good stuff.
Absolutely.
So much good conversation.
A lot
on
of
there.
great things
You can
on there.
show us pictures of your toys. You can show us pictures of your toys. And you can show us pictures of your toys. There's a lot going on.
There's a
And
lot.
tell us about tell us what's going on that you find interesting that you want to share. There's a lot of sharing
And caring.
and caring. It's a good spot.
It's fun.
a
It
safe
truly
space.
is a lot of fun.
It's a safe place.
Such a great job selling it. Great.
Hey,
Thank you.
none of this is written down.
Thank you, everybody. Hey, have a great week and go Chiefs.
See you in TFCon LA. This is already coming out. This is coming out
After-
during the Super Bowl.
No, the last episode came out
Yeah,
during the
it's
Super Bowl.
all done.
This
Season's
is at
over.
The end of
I
February.
sure hope the Chiefs won. Bye, everybody.
Go Chiefs in the fall of
Bye,
2022.
bye,
See ya,
bye.
bye.
Meet the Mets, come and meet the Mets.
Afternoon bladder. Afternoon bladder.
Cells is the sponsor of Autopod Decepticast. Yes, 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 yes.